I'll tell you.
The alums have made more than one.
Be a little lenient with
Yeah, I think I don't think there are any errors for the alumni today.
What did you say, Chris? Be a little lenient?
They're being a little lenient.
Well, you're seeing what Jimmy Who can do right here. He's just coming in throwing hard and throwing strikes, and this is exactly what Coach Mayotte wants to see at this point in the season, because Jimmy's going to have to toe the route the rest of the way as far as being a stopper in the bullpen.
Jimmy Hoog.
He's a junior.
Yeah.
And
he won, what was it, 4-2 it says here.
Yep.
Yeah. The ERA was a little high, but, you know, as a relief pitcher, you have one bad outing, and your ERA will go up. So, did have 8 saves in the...
Hey, listen, that one was fouled just a little bit. That was the coach didn't want to mess with that one, did he?
And that gets the Eckerd bench a little rattled up there.
Keep your hands in your pocket. Yeah, well, these old guys they're gonna come around, you know.
Oh yeah, well,
it takes them a while to get started.
It's just a matter of hopefully getting used to seeing a guy
Prime to pump.
Sure.
Skip Westmore. Oh man, I got to tell you, Jimmy really fired that one in. Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, he came right.
A
lot of body in that one there.
Yeah, it looked like they inflated the plate a little bit there.
Yeah, I bet they gave him a little bit, but I haven't seen the umpire. I don't mean this in any denigrating way toward Dick Tavner, but I haven't seen that brush that plate off yet, and it's getting a little muddy down there.
I believe we got a substitution here too, Jack.
Okay. I wonder, I can't see his number, so I don't know who it is. Larry, you got any idea?
That's John Perillo. John Perillo went in as defensive replacement.
John Perillo.
Perillo. With a P.
With a P. Not like with a Carl Perillo, but a John Perillo.
Yeah, he went in for Bob Dukowski a couple innings ago defensively after Dubo had a little trouble out there with a couple grounders, but Dubo did a great job. You know, everyone at Eckerd affectionately knows him as Dubo, and that's in the dirt. And he did a great job. Everything that you see out here is basically because of the work he and Bob Ochsner did.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
They put the whole thing together and got the interest up. And
yeah, well, usually alumni games played at Eckerd, and it's a nice little thing, but these two guys really wanted to make it a special event, you know, for the college, for the alumni, and even for the community.
This is the first time it's
at Alumni.
Ever been played at Alumni.
Yeah.
You suppose maybe they'll make an annual event out of it?
Oh, sure. Well, you know, the thing is, we didn't get started on it till, you know, a little later, maybe, I don't know, around December is really when the first series talk about upgrading it a bit. Yeah. And, you know, plans are already on for next year. We want to get started on it nice and early, and hopefully all the people who've been gracious enough to sponsor this event will want to get involved in it next year. And really, I think everything's gone well. The only one who didn't cooperate was Mother Nature, but you know, there's not much you can do about that.
Katsugita, I've said it before, and I've got to say it again. The guy looks like a shortstop.
Oh yeah, well he's the consummate shortstop. He's quick and he's a switch hitter. Actually was played in the Blue Jays organization for a season up at Medicine Hat, and did quite well from what I understand, but didn't seem to stick.
1-1 pitch is he takes it inside, strike 2. Right, this guy Jim Hoog is he's kind of deceptive, I think.
Yeah, well, he's not real big. And as you can see, he's got great mechanics.
Yes.
He really does have a fluid motion, really uses his legs well. And as you can see right there, he threw a pitch where Cascalita just really couldn't handle it.
I've just been told I left the lights on my car. I came in the rain, and you'll let me know if they're on or if they're dead or not. The battery, oh my God.
No, that's terrible. Hey.
Yeah, well, you know, you gotta drive with your lights on in the rain,
well,
and then it's
let me
daylight.
tell you something.
I got to pause here for a commercial. No, I don't have to pause for a commercial. We are changing. Yes, we do too. I was confused there with my lights being on. Rapid Roberts 10-minute oil change and lube center, located at 9440 Almerton Road in Largo, a quarter mile past of Starkey Road. By the way, if you mentioned that you saw the alumni game and put up with my verbosity on Paragon TV, that you will get a $2 discount. Just drop into Rapid Robert and say, lay that $2 discount on me, Bobby. Get that oil change.
Verbosity?
Is that the right word? My proclivity.
I don't know.
When you went to Eckerd College,
What does that mean?
my proclivity for ostentatious verbiage is limited in cold weather like this.
That's right.
Okay. I don't know who our continuity writer is here, but she ain't too ugly. Looking for a good time. We'll do that in the next inning or whenever we come up next. All right. We're moving into the top half of the sixth inning, and Tim McDonald standing in.
No,
Well, it says 12.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
It says 12. Is that Tim McDonald?
Yeah, that's
Larry,
Tim.
don't second guess me, Larry. I've
sorry.
been here all of
yeah, I need glasses.
I've been here all of 5 innings, and I know everything there is to know about this ball club. I have no earthly idea who these players are.
Tim McDonald from upstate New York, he is just improved year after year, and he's really a leader on this team. Coach Mayout really looks for him as like an infield captain, really.
And he swings on the first pitch and puts it right out by the bus going by. What street is that?
Got it.
What street is that?
That, I believe, is Beach Drive.
Beach Drive. Did you ever break a car window? I broke a few with foul tips.
No, I can't hit it that far.
All right. McDonald is, he's gone back into the dugout.
I hope he hasn't broken his bat.
I don't think he maybe he bit it.
I know, and I think that's all you can do with it.
What did he do last time up, Chris? You remember?
He singled.
All right. And the first time up, he was on by way of
A
an
goof.
error, a goof on the third baseman's part, if I recall. All right. McDonald, he decides to lay off that pitch, and he wisely did.
Yeah, like I was saying, Timmy Mack, he's a real leader on the team. He's going to switch bats again. And he's a real leader on this club. A lot of the younger players look up to him, and Coach really looks for him to take the lead.
Oh, man, a beautiful ball. Right over third base. Right over third. He's got his second base hit, and he's got an extra base. He may... No, don't try it, Tim. Don't try it.
Well, right there, you saw how quick a bat he has. He really got around on that ball. And granted, it wasn't, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but nonetheless, you could see how he could really pop his hips and really drill the ball. I mean, not too many guys can hit it right over the bag.
Junior Ortiz stands in now, and Tim McDonald's on second base, and he really did lay that ball right across the third base line. And you can look at the third baseman for the Alumni, and he looks like a guy in the backfield on a muddy day in Buffalo. Ball's bounced in front of the plate. The third baseman, Randy Quist, has earned his keep today. 1-0.
I believe Mike Kirkwood is in at shortstop. I'm not sure about that.
Close for ball 2.
And we do have a new shortstop. I'm trying to find out who that really is. Maybe, no, it's Larry Teague.
Larry Teague is playing shortstop now in place of Mike Casadita.
Larry Teague.
Larry Teague.
T-E-A-G-U-E.
We're going to put him in the same spot in the lineup, or are they trying to roll him?
I don't know, but maybe just a defensive replacement.
Well, he lost him. Got to look up all these numbers on these guys.
Number 22, the right fielder, Scott Perry.
Scott Perry. Junior Ortiz is on first. Tim McDonald leads off second base just a little bit. Just about a normal lead they both are taking. Scott Perry looks at one.
Well, for a big power hitter like Scott, he's a pretty good average hitter. He just fell 1 point shy of the 300 mark last year, and I'm sure he'll be a 300 hitter this year.
Well, let's see what happens here.
Well, we got the ball was hit real hard, and it couldn't be handled over there at first base, and it seems like ML didn't really get over in time to possibly make a play over there, and Rod just couldn't handle that smash by Scott Perry.
Bases are loaded here in the top of the sixth. Mark Brown, downtown Brown at the plate. Last time, we know what he did. He put it out there right over right center field.
This is not the guy you want up with the bases loaded if you're an Alumni
we
fan.
could get a bunch of runs. Chicken is on the hill. My old buddy Bob Prince used to say, the chicken is on the hill. I remember one time, Willie Stargell, every time Stargell would come to the plate in Pittsburgh, Willie owned a fried chicken place up in the Hill District, and Bob would invite everybody to come in and have free chicken if Willie hit a home run. Brown puts one out on Beach Road. And anyway, Stargell finally had to come up to the gunner one day and say, Prince, lay off. Don't do this anymore. You cost me too much money, because everybody would wait till Stargell came to bat and then start buying chicken, and then in the event he hit a home run, it was on the house. I mean,
considering Willie Stargell's a Hall of Famer and got in on his home run prowess, I would imagine they gave away a lot of free chicken.
They gave away so much that they closed the place. Right up over second base, and that's going to be in there for at least 2 runs. And we got 2 runs, and you got yourself an 8-0 ball game. And Brown is on first, and this guy's hitting a ton. What's he had, about 3 hits so far this game? 2 hits.
Yeah, 3 hits.
3 hits, yeah. 1 home run. All right.
And a bunch of RBIs.
Scott Perry's at third, and our batter is going to be
And I think we're going to make a
Joe
pitching
Bullock.
change. Here comes Dubo, Bob Dukowski. I think he's seen enough of Mark Leitner.
We're going to see Bob Oxner now.
Yeah, I think so. I think Ox is going to make an entrance here, and
Yeah, I would think that the manager may have seen enough. Looking for a good time? The Fraternity House on Gulf to Bay in Clearwater is the answer. Enjoy the collegiate atmosphere and the great food and lots of cold beer. Bring the whole family. This restaurant is for everybody, so we hope to see you there. You want me to do that? I'm a walking sound effects guy too. If you've got a champagne taste and a beer budget, you got to go to the Fraternity House on Gulf to Bay. I don't know why I did that. This has got to be goofy. But see, I'm only good during a baseball game in a rainout, or what we delay, or
entertaining.
Game delayed for rain. That's it.
I got to keep the fans around. Keep them away from the refrigerator during the timeouts.
Got it.
And yeah, it looks like Bob Oxner.
Bob's got to get the mud out of his cleats and get going. He is a big dude, isn't he?
He sure is, and he was a big dude when he played here. He's always carried a little extra, and never seemed to bother him. It bothered Coach Matt a little bit. Coach always had him doing a couple extra sprints to possibly drop a pound or two. But Bob, that's part of being Bob Oxner. I think he always took a ribbing about being a little bit on the hefty side. But
okay, we'll be right back. The scores at the end of 6½, or in the middle of 6½, is 8-0 in favor of the Eckerd varsity. Hang on.
Want something new and different to send your sweetheart this Valentine's Day? Send TV love letters, the television message of the 80s. Tell your biggest crush, favorite girl, special friends, and don't forget Mom how much you care. And what a sweet deal. Only $9 for the first 3 lines. Additional lines available. For complete details, drop by any Paragon cable office or call 579-8674 today. Don't miss this chance to say, I love you, with TV love letters.
Joe Bolak stands in, and Oxner, first thing he does is he kicks and wheels and fires over to first base, trying to keep the runner.
Well,
close.
Bob's always been like that. Bob has always been tricky when it came to trying to pick runners off.
He looked like T-Op there delivering to the home plate. And the first pitch is swung on and drilled out into deep, and it's gone. Open it up, Aunt Nellie, another home run. All right, so now we're looking at a 10-0 ball game, and Oxnard is greeted not very nicely on his first delivery to the plate. Maybe he should have kept that one and thrown the one that he threw to the first baseman in there, because I can tell you something. Bolak just got back on his heels on that one and let her rip.
Well, I wonder what Coach Bob Dukowski's going to do now. I don't
know. Maybe they'll recruit us.
Well, I don't know.
I don't think I want to pitch against this team, though.
Bob's got a big smile out there. He's having a lot of fun. And he didn't give up too many of those when he was playing at Eckerd, so I guess we can forgive him for this one.
Well, he got it out of his system. We know he's not going to pitch a no-hitter now, so no problems. 11-0. I thought it was 10-0. This was kind of like he missed outside.
Well, right there you saw what kind of power Joe Bolak and what kind of swing Joe Bolak has. He's just a phenomenal talent, and like I said, Coach Matt really is looking for big things from him. He's kind of a quiet player, kind of goes about his job.
On the second hop, the shortstop fires it into the dirt, and he scoops it up over at first base. The first baseman, Andy. No, wait a minute. The first baseman is
Bob Gare, I believe.
Bob Gare, you got it. Get those numbers all screwed up. Bob Gare. Actually, when I did, I looked on the score sheet here, and Westerfeld's number is 3, and I know that 3 is the number for the first baseman, and I shouldn't have done that. But what the heck? Forgive me, after 20 years sitting up here trying to do a ball game, and I've never seen either team before. 11-0.
Well, Bob comes through with 2 quick strikes, and that's the Bob Oxner we know. Well, that is too.
Well, you can tell that nobody's going to dig in on Bob.
No, sir. He's a tough competitor.
He will keep him loosey-goosey at the plate.
Regardless of the situation, whether it was a championship game or an alumni game, he's going to be tough out there.
1-2 pitch is pulled.
I believe that one landed in the bay.
Is there such a thing as a sweet spot on an aluminum bat?
Oh, there sure is.
Is there really?
Oh, goodness. People often say, well, couldn't they use aluminum bats in the major leagues? Well, they'd probably have to issue bulletproof vests for the pitchers if they ever did.
Center fielder's camped under that one, and he squeezed it for the out.
And not only is there a sweet spot on an aluminum bat, but so often when a pitcher can make a great pitch to jam a hitter where you'd normally see a bat break into 3 pieces, a hitter has a chance to get a base hit with the aluminum bat just because he can get it over the infield. And
then, of course, really nobody putting too much pine tar on an aluminum bat, I don't guess.
No, well, some guys do just out of habit.
Can't find the handle, picked it up, got it in time. So our first baseman, Rod Gare, retires the side. And here we are at the end of 6 complete innings of baseball.
One shot at it. One shot at getting a couple of big hits.
It's 11-0. And I got to tell you that capturing today's memories on film, well, if you're doing that, use Eckerd System 2 or UltraLab 35 photo processing for bright, vivid prints on Kodak paper. Eckerd photo processing. Nothing looks better. Rick, how you holding up? I haven't heard from you in a month of Sundays.
Doing fine over here. Just enjoying the banter between you two.
Well, I'm just sitting here. I wouldn't know what to do. Larry stepped in here and helped us out tremendously with...
Well, I can be a hand. You put a microphone in my hand, and
I can tell that you're about ready to take over Bob Lassiter's position on WFLA. By the way, we're going to have Lassiter out here singing the national anthem. But, I don't know, he got sidetracked or something. You listen to him?
Oh, yeah, certainly. WFLA is just, fine. I believe Ted Webb also as well.
Ted Webb, and, of course, there's Dick Norman.
Yeah.
I've never met Dick Norman, but I think he's probably the best radio talk show personality on the air in this town.
On our Blab television, it runs from 7 to 10 during the week, WFLA was doing a talk show that was on Channel 9. And Dick Norman hosted several of those along with Dr. Jatan and other people that are affiliated with WFLA.
Well, I know they jumped up in the ratings here. I don't know. I listen to both stations, but FLA seems to have a little more zip.
A little bit younger demographic, I believe.
Yeah. All right, gang. It's swung on and missed for strike 1, and our batter. Let me check his number, and I'll tell you who
Bobby
he is.
Gare.
Bobby Gare. That's right. First baseman. He retired. It's so many times in baseball, the guy that made the last out is the first guy up.
Oh yeah, and often when a guy makes a great play in the field.
Yeah.
And there you go.
And Bobby drilled it between second and first and into right field, and he's on with a stand-up shot.
Well, that's a good piece of hitting there. You know, he knows that he's not really going to be able to get around on a Jim Hoog fastball. So
there's not a lot of pressure on the alums.
Well, you know,
They can be a little
no,
loose
there
up there.
isn't. Yeah.
For some reason, I must have read that scoreboard wrong out there, but it's we're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and I thought we were going into the year right. It's
Larry, let me ask you. Excuse me, Jack. Larry, let me ask you something. Why does it seem there's such a predominance of players from Massachusetts and Maryland on this area? Does Coach Mayotte recruit?
He certainly does. He certainly does. It's always been a favorite area because there are a lot of great ball players, and you'll find that the ball players that are really serious about getting better and possibly going professional will want to come down to the Florida atmosphere, of obviously the great weather, but also baseball atmosphere, basically 365 days a year, you're baseball, and I think that's what attracts the best players from up north down here.
How about scholastically?
Oh, there's no question that that Eckerd, demands the grades, and no one's allowed to skate away. You see a lot of schools get themselves into problems with letting players get away with not putting up the grades, whereas at Eckerd College, it's just something that every player knows coming here that they're going to be asked to.
Larry, I got to find out who number 13 is here.
That's Mark Horan, Jack.
Mark Horan.
And I'm surprised he's still standing after the kind of game he had.
And his uniform's clean, even for a catcher. My gosh, on a day like today.
No, that's Dave Pasqualato. I think he just switched jerseys with
jersey
with
switch.
Mark Horan.
Oh, is that what it is? It didn't look like Mark Horan. That's why I said, who is that guy?
Yeah, that's Dave Pasqualato from. He's a Countryside fella. He's up there. Went to Countryside High School and came to Eckerd, I believe, in 1984 as a junior.
Well, he got hit on the 13, or just south of the 13, and Dave Pasqualato is going to take a base, and we're going to punch up.
Let's see here.
We're going to punch up number 8. And you got me. They've changed some jerseys on me. I don't know what we're doing here, gang. What are we doing?
Now batting, the left fielder, number 8.
Yeah, who is that? That's
Joe
good.
Celeste?
Joe Celeste. Don't keep it a miss.
Celeste.
Joe Celeste is in pizza. Mama's Pizza. Yeah.
Thanks, Gary.
Joe Celeste. Cuts on the first one. Missed it.
Jack, while we got a moment here, I'd like to mention that the lunch for the alumni today was donated by the Food Factory located across the street from Eckerd College.
In other words, foul tips.
Maybe that's what's wrong with the alumni. They ate too much today or something.
Yeah,
11 to zip.
A lot of the guys are here to party. Most of the guys went out last night and got together beforehand, and there's going to be a nice little get-together tonight. And we're all looking forward to the banquet tomorrow at I believe, the Holiday Inn out on the beach.
Up at the Crow's Nest.
Right.
They tell me they told me it was going to be a fun thing to come over here, and it is. I've had a blast here. I don't know what I'm doing, but hi.
Well, I've seen some guys that I have not seen since even people who haven't come down for the last couple of alumni games. Ed Scheibe, who was a top-notch pitcher here for 4 years until 1983. I hadn't seen him in quite a while.
Hey, listen, Mr. Celeste has got himself a ribby, I do believe. Yes, he may have. They're going to try for 2.
Play at the plate.
They're going to try for 2, and there will be a play at the plate, and the guy's a dead duck. He just kind of
They're on the scoreboard.
There. Huh?
They're on the
Joe
scoreboard.
is just as happy as you could be, jumping up and down out there. And
Well, they scratched.
I don't know, Gary Noble bringing him around there, and got to question whether Noble should have sent him on that one.
I've just been told that Celeste hit, when he was a senior at Eckerd, he hit 4 home runs in a row.
That's amazing.
Times at bat.
That's amazing.
That's all right.
Not too many guys do that on any level. Sure is. Not too many guys do that on any level.
Larry, what are your dimensions of your field at Eckerd?
At Eckerd, it's considerably smaller. It's 330 down the line. I'm not sure if that's exactly right. No one really knows exactly what it is.
Well, you're 330 down the line here.
Yeah.
Still a country distance.
Yeah, well, like I said, no one really knows exactly how long it is, but it's considerably smaller. It's definitely more of a hitter's ballpark, especially in the early spring. The wind seems to blow off the Gulf, and there are some days I can recall playing a game against St. Leo College where the final score was 23-22. A catcher for St. Leo hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning in that game, and they scored. Yeah, in the bottom of the 8th, they scored 11 runs to take a 1-run lead on us, and then Mark Morowski and then Steve Lerner hit consecutive home runs to end the game. It was one of the most incredible games I've ever seen.
I don't want to interrupt anything here, but who's the batter?
This is John Small.
Johnny Small.
Johnny Small. I couldn't see his number there, and I turned around, and he was up there.
Working as a Florida patrolman down in Dade County now.
Well, he's going to get his ticket punched here if he doesn't move out of that batter's box there, because the junior is kind of firing inside close.
Mm-hmm.
So John is a trooper.
Yes, and quiet guy, but always got the job done. He was one of the first coaches I had at Eckerd.
3-2 pitch,
Whoa.
right back to Junior Hoog, and he pops it over to first. And there it is.
Well, Johnny hit the ball hard.
He did. That's the kind of, I used to pitch a little baseball, and that's the kind of a play I don't like to get anywhere around, because you can get hurt.
Sure.
But Hoog was in perfect position to field that ball, and you
Well,
come down off that mound, and you got to have those knees in
Exactly.
so you can move either way.
That's all part of pitching mechanics. You see a guy like Ron Guidry always in a good position to field.
Well, you
Jimmy
said
in the same respect.
You said Junior was a mechanic. Jimmy was a mechanic.
Well, no, he's got good pitch. I mean, when I talk about mechanics, I mean pitching mechanics in terms of, there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might have bad mechanics and good results, but more often than not, you need to have, watch how Jimmy will bend off his back leg. He'll dip that back leg, which will automatically bring his body lower, which will keep the ball lower.
A lot of guys in the major league, when they come off the mound after
They're
delivering the
falling all
ball,
over the
they're
place.
falling all over the place. You don't know where the heck they're going, and they are in no position to field the ball.
And a lot of them get hurt.
Marking this
because
young
they
man is in
can't-
good position. Look at him right there.
Sure.
He can feel that ball hit back to him.
Yeah, and he's quick out there, too, so I'm sure Coach Matt doesn't worry about balls hit back to Jimmy.
All right, we're in the top of the 7th inning, and this is the final inning, unless the alums can do something here.
Well,
They got a long way to go.
well, at least we won't get the 10-run rule, though.
I remember one time in San Francisco, the Pirates were playing the Giants, and the Pirates had them like 8-0 in the bottom of the 9th, and the Giants scored 9 runs.
God.
They had us all the way. All the way.
Well, it's a funny game, but, boy, I think Alumni will be hard-pressed to put up those kind of numbers.
Well, you think they'll get another score? I think they'll get another
I'd
score.
like to see it.
Let's watch this. I think that we're going to get one right up the middle right now.
Ooh.
Well, he got on anyway. See, maybe what I was really saying is that Randy Quist is going to come up, unless that's somebody else with a different jersey.
No, I think that's Randy.
That's Randy. Looks like he.
He's a pretty big fella, so it'd be kind of hard to mistake him.
He's got one of their 3 hits. He had the initial hit for him.
Yeah, and
Single the first inning.
he swung the bat well each time up at the plate.
In fact, they're not giving your alums enough credit on the scoreboard.
I
They got one more run.
1 run, but the hits are, they've only given them 1, and
They've
there's
got about
actually
4
3.
hits. Is it 3? I thought it was 4. Okay, 3 hits, and I think they made more than 1 error too. I think they made a couple of.
We won't talk about
That's
that.
right.
Well, let's don't be pickety. It's a great ball game, and the weather's beautiful, and the sun is shining. And Randy
Swung through
Quist,
that one.
he's got a count of 1-1 on him. I want you to open up just a little bit and pull that ball right over the left field fence. Well,
Right
got
back
the
over
fence, right?
Yeah, wrong one, though.
got the wrong way.
Jack, are you warming up at all?
No. I'm not. Are you?
I'm shivering.
Why are you here in a shirt sleeve? I don't understand you.
I don't know.
Is there something down there that I don't know is down there?
I've got my James Bond coat over here. I'm tempted to put it back on.
With an 11-2 game, I'm not having any problem staying awake. It's about 44 degrees if it's anything. The mercury is way down there.
That's another thing.
2-2 pitch. We're going to take a break. Uh-oh, he fought that one off, and the first baseman's got it. And Junior drops the ball, picks it up, and manages to get the out. And that retires the side and sort of wraps up our baseball game.
Oh,
here.
That's, we've got one more inning to go.
You gotta be kidding me. I thought we were I'm sorry. Excuse me,
I guess
folks.
they want to get everyone out there who's going out.
Sorry, gang. I anticipated too much there. Mercantile Federal Savings Bank. Personalized service, locally owned and managed with 2 great locations in Tierra Verde and in Northeast St. Pete. A full-service bank with Saturday hours. You know, the bigger the banks get, the better we look at Mercantile Federal Savings Bank. All right, we got a lady PA announcer.
Sounds like they had a drawing of some kind.
Oh yeah, well that's part of the fun out here. Try to keep the fans around. I think everyone's sticking around to see who is going to win that prize. And again, a lot of these things are brought to this game by the gratefulness of our sponsors. And again, we can't say enough about everyone who's contributed to make this game and day a success.
Jack, you know something? It might not be the biggest crowd, but I think it's one of the most attractive crowds I've seen.
Also, for the size, it's very vocal.
Young nubile people in the stands.
I'll recognize
Nubile?
faces there. Yeah, really.
You're saying
Vocabulary lesson up here. I'm learning something
You're
up here
saying
today.
that the ladies are out here.
I certainly am.
What do you call the Eckerdettes?
The co-eds.
The co-eds. I'm doing my best to try to consume a beefsteak sandwich and do a ball game, and there's no way. Okay, we're going into the top half of the 7th. So we're going to get 7 full innings. I can tell you that right now.
Izzy
First
Cruz.
pitches. Cruz has wrapped the ball down to the shortstop, and who's playing first base?
Okay, that's Pat Lattimore.
Pat Lattimore.
And really a top-notch guy. Really, he was a heck of a ball player here at Eckerd. And a lot of the younger players, again, if they ever had a problem, they went to Pat. And he was a really big part of Eckerd on and off the field.
Let's go up to the top of the batting order and pick up Tim McDonald. He has had an astoundingly good day today.
Certainly has. He's got two singles.
Well, that's not surprising out of him.
You see that ball break?
Has Mr. Lattimore put on any weight, or did he play about that size?
Well, he was always a pretty beefy guy, but I was talking to him before the game, and he says he's hit the weight room, and really a lot of that, it's hard to tell, but a lot of that's more muscle than anything else.
Looks like a bruiser.
Oh yeah, well he could really crush the ball and
1-1 to Tim McDonald. And our friend Bob Oxnard misses outside.
No, I think that's Ron Westmoreland.
Ron Westmoreland?
Andy's brother. Oh, no, not Andy. Skip's brother. I'm sorry. Yeah, I remember Ronnie graduated in 1983.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. I don't know who you're talking about. Who you're saying the pitcher is Ron Westmoreland?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. When did they change that?
I think at the end. I think Bob. I think Ox said enough of this, and I'm going to go into the clubhouse and have a beer or something.
Well, I don't think we got a foul tip there. So Mr. Westmoreland is pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell us something about him. When did he?
Well, he was always someone that he was basically a middle reliever from what I could remember. God, it was such a long time ago. 1983 seems like a long time ago now. And
how old are you, Larry?
Me, I'm 23.
Yeah, well, it would seem like a long time ago. Over into the bleachers. 23 years ago.
You're asking me to remember whoever.
I know, everything is relative. Eh?
Yeah,
In 1983, my God, that was 100 years ago.
I just...
Well, let's see what McDonald... This is a fine-looking ball player.
Oh yeah,
He
there's
really
no
looks
question.
good.
He's got all the.
He's gonna,
Yeah, there you go.
and he gets himself a long foul. I thought that was going to fall down the line.
But again, when you look at him swing the bat, it's really nice to look at,
Mhm.
you know, because he's so smooth and you know, he can really turn on the ball. And again, like Mark Brown, if you pitch him away, he's going to go that way, and that's what makes him a great.
When he goes
hitter.
with the ball.
Sure.
Well, you know, the great Sam Snead, his swing as a golf ball.
Well, you know,
beautiful. This guy's got a fluid motion.
As a junior, hit 324, and that's not bad at all.
You may see him play some professional baseball. He lays off that one.
I would not be surprised.
So we got a walk here. We've only had about 2 walks in the whole game.
That's pretty good, I think, for guys who haven't.
For an 11-2 game.
And guys who haven't thrown in at least a year, if not more. That's not too shabby. Yeah, Junior's a native of Puerto Rico, and he's a real fine. He's a small guy, but can really pound the ball, believe it or not.
How would Coach Mayotte have gone about getting him from being from out of the country?
Well, he's got some. Actually, I believe the connection was, although Junior's originally from Puerto Rico, spent some time out in California. I think that's how he got hooked up with Junior. He's the kind of player. I remember a game last year here at the last regular season game of the year against the University of South Florida. Junior hit a ball to dead center field that landed about 2 feet below the top of the fence. It was one of the hardest balls you're going to see anybody hit, especially, you know, a guy not exactly big in stature.
Mm-hmm. Here he
it's
goes.
11-2, and the ball
got
has
him.
been. Hey, he's out of there. What a nice peg. Nice.
Dave Pasqualata.
Nice. Oh yeah. Just like he just sat back on his heels and fired that ball. When do you suppose stealing became a part of baseball? Probably back in the days when it was invented.
I would think.
Yep.
The famous Georgia Peach.
Mm-hmm. Ty Cobb.
Yep.
Well, when in those days you had to basically go one base at a time, there weren't, you know, too many home runs.
Swung on and missed for the 3rd out, and that ends the top of the 7th inning.
Yeah.
And so, after 6.5 innings, we'll leave you with the score: Eckerd varsity 11. The alums, no matter what the scoreboard says, the alums have 2.
Want something new and different to send your sweetheart this Valentine's Day? Send TV Love Letters, the television message of the 80s. Tell your biggest crush, favorite girl, special friends, and don't forget Mom how much you care. And what a sweet deal. Only $9 for the first 3 lines. Additional lines available. For complete details, drop by any Paragon cable office or call 579-8674 today. Don't miss this chance to say, I love you with TV Love Letters.
Okay, I got to wipe the mud off my face. The second run was thrown out at the plate.
At the plate. Tag
Yeah,
at the plate.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. I really did think that the alums had 2 runs.
Hopefully they'll come up with a couple more here. It was awful nice of you to try and throw them that extra run.
Well, I did my best, but and I should never argue with the scoreboard, but yet on occasion, you are right when you do argue with the scoreboard. I don't mean here, I mean anywhere.
I understand. In this case, you probably got more reason to argue with the scoreboard than normal.
I don't want to say anything derogatorily about anyone, but there is a slow curve that just fell over for strike 1. And Junior Hoog is the pitcher.
Jimmy Hoag, yeah.
Jimmy Hoag. Jimmy Hoag is the pitcher. And the ball is cut on and fouled down the 3rd baseline.
And that's the pitcher for the Alumni.
Westmoreland.
Skip Westmoreland, right?
Yeah. Westmoreland is
Hopefully, unless he's changed jerseys or something.
we can't really keep up, folks, unless you're a relative,
right?
A blood relative here. Nobody is going to know. But we're just doing the best we can, and we're having a lot of fun doing it.
I'd like to thank Larry Wiederrecht for sitting in with us.
He sure did help us out a lot, I'll tell you that.
Sure did.
Fastball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's a nippy day here in Al Lang Stadium. I don't think I've ever been to Al Lang Stadium when it was as cold as it is. Yes, sir. He caught him with that one. Caught him. Okay. 1 away, and we're in the bottom half of the 7th.
That's the 3rd strikeout for Skip.
They say batting number 6.
Yeah, this is John Perillo.
John
Came in
Perillo.
for Bob Dubkowski.
Mm-hmm. And he's batting in Bob's slot, too.
Certainly is.
They didn't fool around with the lineup.
We appreciate that.
I'm delighted that he did. Oh, boy. He was anxious for that one.
Got a healthy cut at it.
Yeah, but I think he was about 5 minutes too early. He was anticipating a little.
Staying alive.
Now, base stealing is an art unto itself. I guess Vince Coleman is about as
Probably the premier.
the premier base stealer today. And they tell me that you really have to look at the pitcher's heel. You can take that extra step.
Yeah, he's something. I'll tell you another one is Eric Davis with the Reds. Combination
Did
of
he
power
sign
and
a
speed.
contract with the Reds yet, though? He's pouting, I think, the last thing I saw. All right, your shortstop picks that one up beautifully, and there's 2 away. I don't hear a lot of chatter. Maybe he's too cold.
I think so. Plus, morale has dropped 11-1.
Yep. Kind of you get yourself a rockabye baby game here. This is the young man who's batting now, is batting in place of Mike Casaguida. But for the life of me, I don't remember his name.
Well, I'll be darned. They've got Bob Dubkowski.
I don't believe it.
Whoa!
Well, it doesn't really
Nice
matter.
grab.
Jim Hoog, he had to grab that one. There was nowhere else to go. Did you? It hit his thigh, it seemed to me like. Did you see that? It seemed to hit his body. Well, anyway, we got a ball game here, and I'm going to get the score right, ladies and gentlemen. For the Eckerd varsity, 11 runs, 11 hits, and they say no errors, although I did think I saw them make an error.
There was a couple of them.
And the alums got 1 run on 3 bingles and 2 bobbles.
Okay.
I don't know.
I would say 2. 2 would suffice.
All right. Good enough. Well, it's been a great game, and we're delighted that you joined us for it. The ball game is brought to you by the Fraternity House, Gulf to Bay in Clearwater. Happy hour 4 to 6 every day, featuring 15-cent chicken wings and 25-cent draft beers. Known for their famous burgers, beaver wings, and grouper sandwiches. They sell over 3,000 pounds a week, and lots of good-looking ladies. Thank you very much for being with us here on Paragon, and I'm Jack Wheeler.
And I'm Rick Cox.
And thank you, Mr. Cox, for helping me meander through all of this
Thank
morass.
you, Mr. Wheeler. It was a pleasure.
Have yourself a good day. I think you deserve one.